So this week's assignment involved creating a cartoon character of a superhero. Jeff supplied us with this nice example of a cartoon character that appears to be being blown out of somewhere. It's kind of a plain background. His character is very nicely rendered. It occurred to me when I looked at this that I really would like to see how he is being blown out in some way. So it made me think of an effect that I knew about in Adobe Illustrator, and I demonstrated this right here. There's my demonstration, and I sent this to Jeff, and he liked it very much, and he asked me if I would explain to him how I accomplished this. And I thought, gee, you know, I will explain it to him. As a matter of fact, I think I should probably show everybody. So he was kind enough to let me use his illustration in this video demonstration of how to create this kind of sonic booming effect for my character. This is a very easy effect. It won't take very long, so pay attention and watch what I'm about to do. So I'm going to move back to the original. Here's my original. Let me move it over a little bit. There we go. First thing that I want to do is I want to take a look at the layers palette, and you're going to notice that everything is on one layer, and that layer is called background. Okay, so there's my background layer. Now what I want to do here is I want to create two new layers. 1, 2. I'm going to leave the background layer the way it is. This next layer, I'm going to call this the boom layer, B-O-O-M. I'm going to call this the boom layer, and there we go, M. Okay. This third layer, I'm going to call that the character layer. Okay, so I have 3 layers: background, boom, and character. The next thing is I'm going to take a look at my character. Notice that my character is grouped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that character, and I'm going to, it's right now located on the background layer because everything is on that background layer, and I'm going to use this indicate selected art icon. With it selected, I'm going to click on this and drag this up to the character layer. So now on the character layer, when I deselect this, there is my character, and there is my background. So what I'm going to next do is I'm going to lock the background. I don't want to mess with the background at all. What I'm going to do, the effect involves this character. I want to start off by having my character located on the character layer. Actually, I think probably what I want to do is move that. I'm sorry, I want to move it down to the boom layer. Yeah, that's what I want. I want it on the boom layer. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this character, and I'm going to make a copy. And I'm going to do that by going to the edit copy, not cut, but edit copy. Alright, what I did was I essentially made a copy, a duplicate that's in the clipboard, and I can bring this copy back as many times as I want and use it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to deselect this now, and I'm going to go edit paste. And there is my character. I've pasted my second version of the character in. I'm going to now move that character way down to here. And I'm going to come over here and get my free transform tool. Actually, I don't need to do that because it's already being applied. I'm going to hold down the shift key, and I'm going to start dragging my character down and making my character small. And let me get my character on screen. He's too big. Actually, it's not too bad, but I think I'll make him a little smaller. Make him about that size. That's probably good. So there's my character, and this essentially is where this character starts out. So he's actually being blown from this position out to here. So here's my character. The next step is to select the character in the start position, and I'm going to use the transparency palette. I already have the transparency palette out here. All these palettes can be found under Windows. So if you take a look here, you can see that I have my control panel out, my tool panel out, my artboards out, my layers, my links, and my transparency. Those are the layers that currently are out here. And that's where you find them. So if your say transparency layer isn't out, you just go up to the Windows menu and you can open it up. So I select this little guy right down here, and what I want to do with this is I want to set the opacity so that it is almost invisible. Now I don't want it to be invisible because I want you to see it, but I want it to be very invisible, very light. So I'm going to set it to say, oh, I don't know, 10%. And if I deselect it, you see how you've got him down here? Very light. You can barely see him. Alright, now the next thing I'm going to do is, and remember I have him copied to my clipboard, so I'm going to select my final. And my final, I'm also going to set the transparency, because these two elements here are what are going to be used to create my sonic boom effect. I'm going to set the opacity on the final position to, I'm going to try it at, oh, let's say 50. No, let's say 60 so you can see it a little bit better. There you go, 60. So there are my two elements. To create this sonic boom effect, I am going to use a blend. And what a blend is it's any two objects that you select and create a blend from. I have my object down here, and by holding down the shift key, I can come and I can select my object up here. So now I have both of my characters selected. This is what I need to create my blend. The blend will be a transition from this guy to this guy. I go to the Object menu, and if you look here, you'll see it says Blend. So it's Object, Blend, and then I'm going to move over to Blend Options. And I'm going to release on Blend Options, and I get the Blend Options dialog box. There are a number of different ways that I can specify my blend option, and you'll see that mine is set to specified steps 100, which is essentially what I used to do this for Jeff. But just quickly, let me show you that you can go with smooth color, specified steps, or specified distance. Each one of these is slightly different, and again, I say try creating a couple of very simple shapes to play around with these different ones. But right now, just to keep us focused on this, I'm going to stay with specified steps. After playing around with this, I thought around 100 looked pretty good. Because again, I want a sonic boom look. I want it to almost look like he's rippling out from the lower version. So I'm going to leave this set at specified steps and 100. If I wanted to, I can come in here and I can change it to 90 or whatever I want. But I want to leave it to 100, and I'm going to hit OK. It doesn't automatically put this effect in, but what it will do is it will now set me up so that if I go to Object, Blend, and hit Make, there is my transition. And actually, something doesn't look quite right with this. Did I change that number back? Object, Blend Options. Let's see here. I think actually I didn't. Let's go Edit, Undo, Make, Blend. Alright, let's try it right. Object, Blend Options. Yeah, see, I accidentally made it 10 instead of 100. So I'm going to hit OK, and now I'll get 100. This will look a lot better. But you can see if I had it set to 10, you get 10 renditions of the character in transition from this size to this size. Now it's going to be 100. It's going to look quite different. It's going to actually look more like what I want. Object, Blend, Make, and it'll take a second to process this. There is my transition. Perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So if I deselect it, there we have my blend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now lock the boom layer so that I can concentrate on putting my character in and finishing this. So I'm on the character layer, my boom layer is locked, and my background layer is also locked. All I'm going to do to finish this is go Edit, Paste in Place. Now the difference between paste and paste in place. Paste will paste it in the center of the artboard. Paste in place will place the object exactly where you cut it from. So I'm choosing for this final version of my character to paste it in place. And watch what happens. There is my final character, and there is my sonic boom effect. And that didn't take very long. And so what I would like you to do is either take one of your objects or create a couple of very simple objects and give this effect a whirl. It's something that I think you'll find very easy. Thank you very much for watching.